Sure. So this is week 2 and also session 2 of the Excel Masterclass program. Today we'll be learning a few things. We'll be learning number formatting, conditional formatting. We'll be learning freeze panes.
Okay, the top bread and a drink.
He's buying bread and
Buying bread while studying Excel.
And what is
Okay, so we'll be learning a few things. So I said we'll be learning number format, we'll be learning conditional formatting, sorting and filtering, freeze panes, and also find and replace. Today is going to be very packed, trust me. So I'll need you to pay very close attention. Okay, thank you very much. So now, number formatting. So number formatting is used to format a given entry, which is in the form of a number, into a suitable or a desired state, which makes data very readable. So now what I'm trying to say is that imagine you enter a date like this, 1/1/15. Okay. Excel, let's look at how Excel acknowledges or sees this data. Okay. Remember that Excel sees this data as a date, right? I hope all of us can see that over here.
yeah.
So Excel automatically acknowledges this data as a date. So what this means is that if you enter any number, Excel will see or identify that number as what it feels it wants to identify it as. So let's say you enter 100 and you press enter. When you come here, Excel identifies as a general number, which is very okay. Now let's enter something like 10 and let's add a percentage. Let's see what Excel did. Excel identifies as a percentage. So if you enter anything, Excel is going to identify it as how it's supposed to be. Now let's enter something like 10.5 as a general something. So one thing we should be very mindful of is how we enter our data or any number in Excel. So Excel acknowledges things like dates and time as numbers. Okay. So if let's say you enter this date that I've entered, and I want to edit the date to let's say something else. Let's say a number. Excel will change that for me. It will change to a number. I'll explain how this works. Okay, I'll explain how this works. So now Excel has changed it to 42,005.00. Funny, right? Okay. So now let's enter a number here and let's see what will happen. Let's enter a number and let's see what will happen. Please, I'm coming. Sure, please, am I audible? So let's enter a number like let's enter a number 1. Right? Excel acknowledges or identifies this number as a general format. Let's look at something very interesting here. Let's change that number to, let's say, a short date. Please, are you seeing what is going on the screen? Excel has changed that number to 1st January 1900. So it means that when you enter the number 2, who can tell us what will happen when we change this number 2 to a date? Who can tell us what will happen? Who can tell us what will happen?
Come again. The question again.
If I enter the number 2 and I want to convert it into a date, How do you think Excel is going to recognize the number? Or which date do you think Excel is going to give the number to? So let me go back to this. I entered the number 1, and now I'm changing it to a short date format. Excel has changed it into 1st January 1900 or 1900. Now, if I enter the number 2, what date do you think that if I change this to a short date, what date do you think that the number 2 is going to be changed into? Anyone?
2nd January 19.
Exactly. It's going to do that for us. 2nd January 1900. Mind you, this date format is in, I think, a month, day, and year. So that is why it appears like that. So if that is why if you enter a date, let's say 2/2/25, Excel acknowledges this as a date format. That is why if you change this to a currency, it will change for pepe. When you change it into a number, it will be for pepe. Even a percentage, a time cry to change it for you. Percentage, it will change it for you. Let's take it back to how it's supposed to be. And this is how Excel works. So now imagine we want to change this particular date. We don't like how it looks because we cannot really identify it. If you want to change it to a long date format, something like this. This is how you do it. So you select the cell, you go to the date or the number format group or the command, you select it and you select the long date. Excel will automatically change it into a long date for you. Monday, January 2nd, 1900. And that is how interesting it is. Now, because this was a date, now when we change this into a long date, it will do it for us. Thursday, January 1st, 2015. Now let's come to our data. Our data. Now, assuming we have this date, this range of dates, okay, and we want to change all of them into an appropriate date format. Okay, an appropriate date format. How can we do it? We will select the whole column by just clicking on the column C, and the whole column is selected. Then we come to the format, then we click on the long date, and it will change perfectly well for us. Perfectly well for us. So this is very important in data organization, right? When you want to identify certain things within your data set, and you feel like the format that it is in, you are unable to identify it properly, this is how you can do it. So now let's say, oh, you feel like you don't like how long this date format is. You want to change it again into a short date. You can do it this way. Now, assuming you want to change the format also, there are lots of formats that we can change. And for the date format, there are formats in that particular date format. Let's say you want to apply more formatting to that particular date format. You just come to the more number format, click on it. Then we click on the date category. Now we come here and we scroll through. Now we select which format we think we would like. Okay, which format we think we would like. Let's say you want it this way, the 14th March in the short form and the 22nd, or however it is. Just select it like that. Now Excel has done it so nicely for us. This helps to take out a lot of space, unlike the previous one, which is like this. So number format is very, very important in Excel. 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 So let's look at this. Now we've changed the format of this particular cell. But are you noticing something? When you look at the formula bar, it is not the same as how it was. Now, mind you, the the formula bar displays the original format of the data that is within that particular cell. I think I explained this last week. So when you apply a formatting to a particular cell or a range of cells, when you select that cell, the formula bar is going to display the original content of that particular cell, whilst the cell will display the format or the formatting you've applied to that cell. That is how it is. So you shouldn't be confused. So I think that we are good to go with the date format. There are a lot of formattings that you can apply with regards to dates. So when you want to, you can explore. You just come to the more number format, select the date, then you scroll and look for, okay, maybe you want it to be like this, the month first, March 14th, 2012, or you want it this way, or you just want let's go to, I think let's go to the time format. Let's format some custom. So it means that we can change this for us. And yeah, exactly. Excel has the format of this particular cell. We want to change it a bit. We want to change it a bit. Now the time format there, but over here, I'm seeing this. I don't like it. Okay, I think I like this. I think I like this. I like this. Okay, you select it. Then it's selected for you. So now this includes the hour, the minutes, and the seconds. It's just as simple as that. So now let's move to the next. Time format is not really much like that. So I think that we are good to go with the formatting. Let's try and format this as well. Let's see what we can do with this. Let me see. Let's see, we've applied this format. This is not a number, by the way, so you have to be very careful. It's not a number, so you can apply it in a different way. Now let's go to percentages. I think we've explained percentages, but let me just touch something small on percentages. So let's say you enter a number like 100, you want to convert it to a percentage, and you just go here, select percentage. It's going to give you 10,000 percentage. So now when it comes to percentage, let's be very, very crucial, or let's be very, very particular about it, because you may be entering a lot of wrong information with regards to that. So now when it comes to percentage, one way you can do it is by typing it and giving it the particular percentage number, and automatically Excel is going to identify it as such. But then if when you dive more deeper into data analysis and all that, you appreciate the use of percentage. But over here, it may be a bit difficult for me to explain to you, so would like to skip that, and let's go to conditional formatting. Let's go to conditional formatting. Let's go to conditional formatting. Let's go to our student marks worksheet. So now, conditional formatting is a very, very handy type of format when it comes to data organization and data analysis in Excel. Trust me, it's a very, very interesting topic. So now let's say we have these student names here, and we want to you want to apply some formatting to it. So let's look at what conditional formatting is. So conditional formatting formats a cell or a range of cells per a given instruction. So let's say we've selected this whole column, and this contains the marks of the following students. And let's say you want to apply a formatting like some data bars, okay? Some data bars. So what this data bars does is that it just fills the cell with the magnitude of its value. So now, in the background, what Excel does is that it will average all these. It's going to calculate it more like a percentage form, and now it's going to identify which number is the largest, the smallest, and give all of those cells their bars. And this is how simple it is. So now you can apply a different conditional formatting like color scales. Now, what does this do? So Excel gives itself it gives the following marks that you see. How should I even put it? It just assigns them to a range on its own. So let's say Excel can say, okay, from range 20 to from number 0 to number 30 is red, or from number 31 to 50 is green, or number 51 and above is yellow. That is how Excel identifies it. But on the general, Excel does it from low to high. So if you have a lower, so as you can see here, you realize that the numbers with a very deeper green are with like the deeper greens have higher numbers compared to the lighter greens and all that. So green will tell you that it is a higher number. The yellow will tell you that okay, it's more like an average number. Yellow, orange, those colors, and red will tell you that it's a very low number. And that is how Excel identifies it. So you don't need to even do much. But mind you, you can also give Excel what you want it to do for you. So you can come here, more rules, and identify. And this, I will not go much into it. I want you to go and explore it yourself because it's a lot. If I go into it, I may end up confusing some of us. So this will tell you that this is trying to, when you select this, is telling you that you are going to format all cells based on their values. Now, when you come here, this will give you do you want a 2-color scale, a 3-color scale, or data bars? Now let's say you want a 3-color scale. Now, let's select. So now the next thing you can do is to select the lowest value. Okay, and we want to select the lowest value like this. Now let's enter the value. Now let's say the lowest value that I want to enter should be, let's say, 40. I don't think 40 is here, so let's select 50. Right. So now the lowest value here, Excel has identified the lowest value here as this color. So you can change the color yourself. Let's say you want it to be this color. Then the mid value, we change it into, let's say, somewhere this color. And the highest value, we change it into this color. So this is how Excel is going to do this for you. So now Excel is going to use, sorry. So now it's going to, let's use the number. So we are going to identify the midpoint here. And let's say the midpoint is going to be 50. Now when you press OK, Excel is going to do all that for us. You don't need to stress about it. But most of the time, you may not really use this particular type of conditional formatting. There are better formattings, like let's say highlight cell rules. So let's say you want to identify the students that did so well and the students that did very poorly. Let's say you want to identify those students and say, okay, let's identify the greater marks. Okay, so let's select the greater than, and we say, okay, I think that Excel has automatically giving us a value for a greater number. So let's say a number that should be greater than this. So let's say we want to enter our own value. Let's say the highest number we want to enter is 90. Now you can select how you want Excel to highlight that particular cell, and let's say you want a green fill like this, or you can even select a custom format. Excel has a lot. I may not be able to teach you everything. You have to do all some of these things on your own. So let's say when we just press OK. Now what Excel does is that it has highlighted only cells which are greater than the number 90. Please, are we following? Please, are
Yeah.
we getting confused or we are following?
We are following.
We are following. I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like what I want to teach today, I want to end at the conditional formatting because it feels like I'm bombarding us with too much information. Please, am I bombarding us with too much information so that I should end here? I mean, I shouldn't continue with the other topics I want to treat and end at conditional formatting. This is
Yes.
not the end of conditional formatting. Should I end here? And we should recap. I think we should go over everything again. Should I end here or I should add more?
Let's end here and continue the rest tomorrow.
Please, should I? Please, should I end here? Wait,
Yes, you can
nobody wants to
end
talk.
here.
Okay, sure. So let's explore the other forms of conditional formatting. Since we all of us want us to end here, so we've selected the marks here, and I want to select something. I want to say, okay, we want to select the numbers. I want to look at the numbers that did averagely well. So let's say we want to select numbers between a particular range. So also Excel has given us a range already. So let's just go by Excel's range, or let's just edit our numbers. Let's also select numbers between.
Ezekiel,
Yes.
I was suggesting that prior to the class, probably you share this with us so that on our laptop, as you are doing, we also follow along. Think with that we may put our hands on it and it will stay faster. So like we have what you have right now, like the names and the figures. So when you go here, then we also go to the same place on our laptop. I was trying to enter the names, but as I type and I feel like you are going faster, so I can't even catch up.
Okay. I've shared a file anyways. I've shared a file, but I think that probably next time I'll try and listen to what you're saying. So whenever I say something, I'll prompt us so that we do the same thing and see if we are following.
Mm.
Yes. Okay. That's
Thank
fine. You're welcome. Excel is a lot, so we'll see. We'll see. So let's say you want to enter the number 80. So let's say we want to format cells or format numbers between the number 50 and the number 80. So it means that from numbers 51 and 79. So let's select this. Now Excel has highlighted it for us very nicely. As simple as that. So there are different types of cell formatting, different types of cell formatting, different types of formatting. So let's say you have a large number of data sets. You want to select a cell that contains, let's say, a text. Let's say 91. Excel will highlight it for you. When you select it 40, there's no 40, so there's no highlighted cell. Let's say the number 45, no highlighted cell. 47, then we'll highlight it for us. So Excel is very diverse, very diverse. There's a lot in conditional formatting that we can explore. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So let's look at this worksheet and let's look at another conditional formatting that we can apply here. So now let's select this whole column. Let's do something. I'll explain to us very soon. I'm trying to figure out what you can do with that. Where is this? Yeah. I wish I entered this data myself so that I would have edited the date very well. Let me see what I can do about it. Let me enter my own date and see. So let's say first we are in August, right? So July, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, the 7. So let's say 1/7/2025. Good. Okay, so let's select and save. I'm now explain what I did so that you understand. Okay, this is in January. So I made a mistake with the date. So let me enter the date again. So let me see. 7/1/2025. So what I'm trying to do is that I want to conditional format the following cells according to the date. So the date that was here, some of the months were in 20, some of the years were in 2016 and all that. So what I want to do, I may not be able to achieve it. That is why I'm changing the date. But I'll explain very soon. I'll explain very soon. Good. I think that this is working. And last week. Okay. Yeah. Let me change some dates into August as well. Because these are all in. So let's say 8, or I can even so let me even do it same July. So 7th. So 7th month, that is July 29th. Good. Exactly what I want. Exactly what I want. Good. Exactly. Mm. So what I'm trying to do is that I want to conditional format the dates by, let's say, yesterday. So let's say you have a shop and you've collected some data, and now you want to check the people or the reviews that came yesterday. Okay, you want to check them that came yesterday. So what you can do is select this particular column, and you come to conditional formatting. You come to highlight cell rules, a date occurring. Then you select, let's say last week, or maybe you want to select next week, or let's say last month, or this month, or next month, today, or anything that you want to select. So let's say today. I think this is wrong, but I just want you to understand what is going on. I didn't enter the date, so I find it a bit difficult to explain. But let's say you have a set of data sets, and you want to format the cells to give you, or to highlight only the cells that, or the dates of the cells that show, okay, yesterday or today or tomorrow or last month or that. You can do that with Excel in conditional formatting. So all you have to do is to select the range of the cells, come to conditional formatting, the date occurring, and you choose what you want to, and also probably the color that you want it to select to. So now I think it has done it for us. I think that I applied different formatting. That is why. So okay, what I should do is that let me just clear the formatting. Clear formats. Let me bring this back to our date format. Yeah. Okay, let me change it to long date. Good. So let's say today is August 2nd, and we have these dates: July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, July 29th, 31st, August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and now we've selected this data and want to apply conditional formatting to select or highlight the cells that probably cells that came in yesterday. Okay, so we come to highlight cell rules, a date occurring. Then when we select yesterday, you realize that only Friday, August 1st has been highlighted, because in actual dates, Friday, August 1st is yesterday. Please, are we following?
Yeah.
Exactly. So when we probably let's select today, it's going to change to Saturday, August 2nd. When we select tomorrow, it's going to change to Sunday, August 3rd. Last week, there is no last week, because you realize that the from when you let me select yesterday, and let's see. You realize that from the highlighted cell, that is yesterday, it ends at July 31st, July 30th, then. So there is nothing like, let's say, a last week inside. You can highlight this week, because all these dates fall within this week. I don't know if you are following.
Yeah.
Yeah, July 31st was actually in this week, right? July 30th was in this week. July 29th was in this week. But when it comes to July 8th, it wasn't even in last week, because it was early. I think it would be somewhere last 3 weeks. So if there was an option like last 3 weeks and we select it, you realize that it will highlight those cells. When we select last month, we're going to select all the days in July. When we select this month, it's going to select all the days in this month. That is how easy and sweet conditional formatting is. So conditional formatting is very, very important in Excel. Very, 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 very important. Very, very, very important. We want to know if you have any questions, or we should go over something so that we can end the session for today.
A brief recap will help, please.
A brief recap. Okay, let me stop recording.